Hail and welcome back to the finale of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Your eyes do not deceive you, we are once again back on Destiny Islands. But is it the same Destiny Islands Sora left at the start of the game? I'm not actually sure, I would have to consult the wiki for that. But we're very close to Kingdom Hearts itself, so semantics really.
We're close to the Realm of Darkness, and so there's a chance this is part of the Destiny Islands that was dragged into darkness, leaking through.
Tied to the darkness.
Whenever you get into the whole doorway to darkness stuff, it starts getting a little bit confusing, because there's so many doors and so many ways that stuff leaks out of it.
Oh.
And, I mean, Ansem himself is just kind of confusing. So...
You ever just been called confusing? That's gotta be a blow to your self-esteem. But he's spitting here. One who knows nothing can understand nothing. Answers are meaningless if you do not understand the answers, I guess.
I will say that, we've talked about this before, that Richard Epcar definitely came into his own for the role as Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, or Xehanort's Heartless, or whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
But Billy Zane is just... It's a performance that you're never gonna forget after sitting through this. He just does an amazing job with all of these, I guess you would call them soliloquies. They're basically just him ranting for a long time.
He sounds intimidating. Like, you don't know if he's gonna, like, smile at you or snap at any given moment. And I think that's what makes Ansem such a compelling villain, such an iconic villain. And, you know, all due respect to Epcar, but like Spar says, there is only one Billy Zane. He did this, well, the original, this, and Chain of Memories, and that was about it.
And I don't think there was much voice work in the original Chain of Memories, so I think that was really just kind of reused and compressed voice clips.
Darkness sprouts within it.
On the subject of Richard Epcar, I can't take him seriously in a lot of stuff because he voices a giant snake in the Naruto series, and in one of the games, Richard Epcar as the giant snake says, "Get in my belly." And so I can never take him seriously anymore.
You see, 4 is the heart's true essence.
The heart may be weak.
Sora also be spitting.
Yes, Sora also has, like, some really, really good lines here as well.
There's a light that never goes out.
Oh, this is one of my favorite reads in the game.
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing. Every light must fade. Every heart return to darkness.
Just perfect. I will remember that until my dying day, really.
It's another one that I think Epcar just tries to emulate Billy Zane too much when he's trying to do these lines. Mm-hmm. Like in the flashbacks at the beginning of KH2. He's trying too hard to do a Billy Zane voice instead of doing his own thing, which he was able to do later, fortunately. Actually, into the fight now, you'll notice we all have some new weapons here. Ooh. Sora is wielding the Ultima weapon, Keyblade, which is the highest strength and increases your MP by 2. And is generally just kind of one of the best Keyblades you can have.
Well, of course.
Donald has the... I think it's called Fantasista, but that's probably entirely wrong. It's probably one of his best weapons aside from Save the Queen, which you get from doing the Hades Cup solo, I think. And you get Goofy's Save the King weapon from doing the Hades Cup time trial. Ooh. Goofy is equipped with these 7 elements, which increases his max MP by 3. And I did that because Goofy's MP is generally much better used by giving it to Sora through MP gift than him using it himself.
Man, the MP gift can make all the difference in these final fights. Damn, you own that stand user.
Liberal use of Ragnarok just kind of being really strong, yeah.
Whatever the fuck Spar said, and 7 elements are synthesis items, by the way, just in case you're curious about going after them. And they are Final Mix exclusives, so keep that in mind.
A lot of the synth stuff was changed in Final Mix because of the unique Heartless that they added, and a lot of those are incredibly obnoxious to deal with, so anyone going for 100% synth in this game has my condolences.
Alright, round 2, and we're gonna go it alone, for whatever reason. I guess Ansem was... he felt a bit cheated. You know, he brought out his stand, we brought out a magic-wielding duck, and a dog who likes to crash into things with his shield. Didn't really feel too fair, but now we're evening the playing field a little bit, with another fucking... I have forgotten this dude's name, that was very embarrassing.
God, I can't remember the fucking name either. Jesus, what are we?
Darkseid, that's the one.
Darkseid, that's the one.
You ever do that where you start a sentence but it crashes out of your mind mid-sentence?
Literally every day, yes.
Well, I would give you like a blow-by-blow of how to defeat this guy, but it's literally the same fight, just stronger. He hits harder. That's about it.
His pattern is more aggressive here, which makes sense, but it is basically the same fight overall, and he also dies just as easily.
Indeed. Oh, look at that thing. It's coating it like butter, so it is.
I would say, honestly, this version is so much easier because you have so many more options, especially high jump. The one thing Sora does not have at the beginning of the game out of the many he does not have is high jump, which allows you to hit all of the targets on Darkseid just kind of instantly, really.
Now this fight in particular, this phase, was the hardest one for me as a kid, and for one reason. Can you guess that reason, Spur?
Submit?
No, but you're getting close.
Ah, okay, yes. There's a lot to this fight, including the fact that you can actually skip Ansem's desperation move that he does here by attacking him at just the right time. Unfortunately, you're not going to see that in this recording because I'm just kind of not that good, but you will see him kind of get decimated anyway.
What I was referring to is guarding, actually.
Ah, see, that makes sense too. The timing on a lot of stuff is actually kind of hard to get used to, and, I mean, I have a lot more time to play these games over and over than you do, so I guess that's why it works for me.
Well, back in the day, like I said, I didn't use a Roger, I didn't guard, so it was that charge move that took me out 9 times out of 10. But so long as you stand your ground and you block at the right time, he will just bounce off, leaving him completely open to a counter.
His desperation move is actually really easy to deal with, too, because you just dodge roll in a circle and completely avoid it, so that part's really not threatening.
See, there you go, he can't do anything, and you caught him with Ragnarok as well.
I didn't hit him with any of the actual Keyblade swings, which is where a ton of the damage comes from. I would say the lasers part of Ragnarok is probably the weakest here out of any of its iterations in the series. But, yeah, still good to use.
Ah, come on, you were close to death there. Exactly, that's why I'm doing this.
Again, you can skip this by hitting him, and it causes him to flinch at just the right time, but he just kind of got out of my range, and I wasn't able to get it done. But you know what? He's basically dead anyway.
Wow. Fucking owned. Skill issue, bitch.
I used Ragnarok at the end just for style points.
Oh, run away, Sora! Cool guys don't look at explosions. Damn, man, you're going to town on these final bosses.
I think I got to like level 60 or so, maybe. I went through part of the Hades Cup so I could get the level 3 magic.
Right.
That you get from those, you're going to see liberal use of Graviga in a lot of the upcoming fights, so be prepared for that.
What a change of pace.
Kingdom Heart.
Oh, there it is!
The Door to Darkness, the Kingdom Hearts, all the others are imposters.
Wink, wink.
From those dark depths are all hearts born. Even yours.
But especially gamers.
Darkness conquers all worlds!
I love that line. That's such a good Billy Zane delivery.
Oh, it's Bahamut. Maybe.
It's a weird flesh ship thing. I don't like it.
It's called the World of Chaos.
It is, and it's a weird flesh ship thing, and I don't like it.
Also, for apparently there being no light around, this place is pretty well lit.
Giving up already? Come on, Sora. I thought you were stronger than that.
That was the line that Riku used on Roxas to get him to doubt himself, by the way.
I was thinking about this as I was watching this before we started. That probably is Riku speaking from the realm of darkness, because again, we are really close to it. So he's probably able to get some contact through.
Like, he's shouting really loud through that door right now.
You say that Ansem 2, the fight that we just finished, is one of the hardest. I would say this is. I wouldn't say this is the hardest, actually. I'd say it's the most annoying. Because there's the lasers, and he's just constantly spinning his attacks around like this. And you don't have Donald and Goofy with you. You're constantly flying, so you can't use any of your limits or summons or anything like that.
Right.
It's just kind of a pain, really, in this entire fight. It's one of the hardest things in some of the speedruns, especially the level 1 category.
Oh, yeah.
Which is hard all around, but especially this one.
Why did he get noticeably bigger, by the way?
That I don't actually know. I guess the power of darkness does a lot of things besides making one stinky.
Maybe so, Spar, maybe so.
It's definitely not a hard fight at the point I'm at with Kuraga and Eroga and stuff like that, but it is just kind of really obnoxious to have all your attacks blocked and deal with the lasers and stuff, but he's dead anyway. Well, he's done. I won't say he's dead. There's definitely still more to go.
Indeedy so. Bit exhausting. I am going to need a power nap if we are to continue. Hang 10, I'll be back later.
Solve my maze is basically what he's saying here.
Oh, Jesus. Last we saw Donald and Goofy, they were being sucked into darkness, so maybe we should save them.
Yeah, might be a good idea, especially because Donald and Goofy have a bunch of my items. So would really like to have those back.
And also they're our friends, Spar.
I mean, yeah, but Mega Elixirs.
That said, go ahead and unequip all of Aerith's stuff before a certain scene. You'll thank yourself later. God, now all I'm thinking about is, like, Goofy on his knees praying and Sephiroth coming down and stabbing him through the chest.
I'd like to point out that I picked up a random drop of a Mega Potion back there, and then immediately used it when I was at full health because I was trying to use an elixir.
Cool.
Yeah, that was not my smartest move.
Ah, well.
It was funny enough that I decided to leave it in.
Wiggling things.
Also, another very annoying section on level 1, and Graviga destroys them completely.
Hell yeah, bitch.
Just 3 casts of Graviga and they're done.
Alright, you can come into my technicolor portal now. You've earned it, scamp.
When the portal is purple, I guess we can't use it. When it becomes like red and green and whatever, it's normal, or I don't really know the technicalities of all this.
I know that only plays favourite line of mine for this bit. They tortured me with images of my wife.
My guy.
Oh, Goofy, we will rescue you from this nether realm, don't you worry.
Getting some nice drops here with the items showing up. Mega Potions and Mega Ethers and whatnot.
Okay, well, I mean, you've already got Ultima, so you kind of show it off right now.
I also have full party, like, Sora's inventory was full of elixirs when I started, and Donald and Goofy were completely full of Mega Ethers and Mega Elixirs, so, like, it's not like I was hurting for items.
Alright, next up, I believe, is this nightmare.
Yes, the Face, as he is called, which is also a very annoying fight. Little known fact, if you don't watch speedruns, you can actually land on the Face's head,
The tip.
land on the top of him. You can actually use limits from there, like Ars Arcanum.
Ah, interesting. Can you summon in this particular fight?
Not this part, because you don't have Donald back yet. You need both of your party members in order to summon.
Right.
During the final fight, Ansem 4, as it is called, once you have Donald and Goofy back, you can use summons if you land somewhere. Actually land on the Guardian's arms, I think, and summon from there. And once again, using the XP0 exploit, you can have Mushu completely shred through Ansem's HP and, you know, kill him in like 10 seconds.
Oh, go into the mouth, the slit. No, I don't want to talk about it.
He also summons more of the wiggly laser things.
Oh, Donald. Hello. I was just looking for treasure, but if you're here as well, that's fine, because you're my greatest treasure. I mean it.
He does have level 3 magic at this point, so he is really strong, assuming he ever casts any.
Bit of a crapshoot, really.
You can set his AI however you want to. He's kind of gonna do whatever he wants regardless, though. Please, for the love of God, stop doing that.
Now, I called him Bahamut. Really, it's Guardian, or the one behind, as I believe he's otherwise called. This thing, I was kind of a bit intimidated by this, so it needs to go. We're going to demasculinize you right here.
It's just gone. The whole thing is made of flesh, so that's gotta hurt something.
Ah, I felt that. It's a good job I got a backup up here. Okay, now there is a cancerous tumor with a spooky skeleton face.
Yeah, like, I don't really understand this, other than the fact that it somehow controls the regeneration pod that Ansem went in, and it's also dead to Graviga.
Jesus Christ, Spa. Give it a rest.
This is not even at max level. I'm at like mid-50s or level 60 or something. I have really good equipment though, from like doing synth stuff.
Alright, I've recovered. I was just taking a nap in my dude's womb here, but I'm ready now.
It would be interesting if he actually gained more health back if you took longer in all those fights. It would also be a shit show on like harder difficulties, so I'm glad it's not like that.
So you know the deal with the one behind, Guardian, right?
Yes, I know who it is meant to be. I've never heard him called the one behind until you mentioned it a moment ago, though.
Maybe I made that up. Who knows? Who really cares? But yeah, it's Terra with his mouth bound so he cannot speak of the truth. But come Kingdom Hearts 3, we get one of the best scenes in the franchise where he is finally free of Ansem/Xehanort's corrupting touch.
I don't think his mouth is actually bound here. You can actually see his mouth opening back there. But yeah, typically it is covered by an X, of course, because everything is an X in this series.
This is kind of like bullying at this point, even if he is giant and like the epitome of darkness itself.
One thing I want to point out before the fight ends, which I'm probably going to lose time trying to do, the glowing orbs that were back there are actually stealing Sora's MP. If you notice, while I was just swinging the Keyblade, Sora's MP was constantly going down. So he's doing that throughout the whole fight, but he died so fast to just a normal attacking. Why do I even care?
I didn't get a chance to use my spirit bomb. Oh, this sucks.
And that's all the gameplay portion done. That took 18 minutes to get through all of that with the preceding cutscenes.
Nice. We talked way too much about Richard Epcar, but whatever, it's our playthrough, we'll do what we want.
We've talked about a lot of things that are not relevant to this series and this playthrough. I think talking about Richard Epcar is okay.
It is futile.
You didn't win. You didn't win. I do not believe in wins on the light side.
I'm not weak.
Kingdom Hearts, fill me with the power of darkness.
The door opens up and it's just a middle finger.
It's just Mickey giving the middle finger.
Swivel on a bitch!
See, I can't do that. My voice is way too deep.
You're wrong. I know now, without a doubt.
Spit it, bro!
Kingdom Hearts is light.
Ah, it's so good. It's so easily memeable and cheesy, but it's so good.
What the fuck is this? Everything I've planned for, up in smoke, because of some fucking Deus Ex Machina bullshit!
He does explode good, though.
He does. Out of all the people exploding I've seen, he's in the top 5 at least.
He exploded like 3 times today.
Come on.
Oh boy, I'm about to nostalgia real hard.
This part having no music is actually kind of great. It increases the tension so much.
Yeah, this is an example of Kingdom Hearts using silence effectively. KH2 would do it on the other extreme, where it was like, too much and too often.
There's a weird thing in KH2 where there's just kind of a constant background noise.
Mm-hmm.
that's
Together we can
always
do it.
going on, so it's not actually silence, but it's so quiet you wouldn't be able to hear it from your TV. It's just so strange to notice.
Oh boy.
It was so interesting to find out that the dark sides are just kind of semi-common heartless, and not the darkness from Sora's heart, as would be implied by the beginning of the game.
Here we come.
It's your boy!
Your Majesty! Now, Sora, let's close this door for good.
I miss Wayne Alwine so much.
Don't worry. There will always be a door to the light.
I honestly noticed in Kingdom Hearts 2, you can tell that he's not as well as he should be. Like, I've always thought he was fine in that one, but even then I can hear a lot of it in his voice in KH2.
It's in Chain of Memories where you can really start to hear a decline.
Yeah, Chain of Memories, and I think Days was his last credit, which is like, not the best one you want to go out on, but you know, whatever.
Whatever indeed, Spa. Whatever indeed. Now what's crazy is Minnie Mouse's VA, Russi Taylor, Wayne Alwine's wife, is also no longer with us, and the last time we covered Kingdom Hearts Final Mix Spa during the Guiding Key Marathon, she was still with us, so this is the first time we're covering this where both of them are gone.
Yeah, it's just another added level of melancholy onto all of this that's going on.
I think this was added for Final Mix.
I believe this is Final Mix exclusive, so that there's sort of scenes with Riku, and then we're gonna go into the bit where he has, you know, the moment with Kairi. Just so that he has, you know, moments with both of them to, you know, reflect on his bond, I guess.
We always used to, like, race on the beach to nowhere in particular. Oh, hey, Kyra. Where the fuck am I?
She basically just teleported here, or got teleported from Traverse Town, by the way. She literally just got there from Traverse Town.
No, Donald. We don't interfere in hetero business. You know this.
God.
Suddenly, CG.
Man, I remember the jump to this on PS2 and being like, wow, this is really amazing. And now we've got in-game graphics in KH3 that kind of looks better than this, so not quite as impressive.
I'll come back to you. I promise. I know you will.
And cue the VOD mute.
Yes, unfortunately, we once again have to replace Simple and Clean with some not Simple and Clean music, so sadly you won't be able to hear it here. I think this is a decent cover, though, so it'll do the job.
What's funny is, in the Kingdom Hearts 3 opening, when they, like, grab each other's hands, they're shown not being able to reach each other, which I guess is what's literally happening, but it's not a one-to-one kind of, like, reproduction.
Oh, man. This whole thing is just filling me with emotion once again.
Indeed. In one of those stars, there's gonna be a Gargoyles world. I will never give up hope.
And one of those stars is Cloud and Sephiroth fighting, I guess, somewhere.
Yeah, it's funny, there was a thing at D23 called Wish, which is all about wishing stars, and I guess that's gonna be interesting. I don't know where I was leading with that, but the idea sounds really cool, and it's apparently gonna star a past Disney villain as the main villain. I'm butchering this explanation, but look out for Wish. I think it's going to be one to watch.
I think it's going to be really interesting, and I would love if they connect it to Kingdom Hearts in some way, because of all the wishes and stars and stuff. I think they could do it. I don't know if they will, because Disney is really against that idea altogether for some reason.
Honestly, the only wishing star in Disney that pops into my head right away is Geppetto in Pinocchio. Can't really think of anything else.
Do the parents in Tangled make a wish on a star, or is that something else? I can't remember.
Something to look up down the line.
This scene in particular, where Kairi comes back to this cave and sees everything, is the part that gets to me the most, when she sees the bit that Sora added to the drawing. I think this part always makes me cry, and I'm probably not going to here because we're focusing on commentary, but man.
Aww.
I think it misses something without the proper music as well, but again, we've talked about that. So.
I can hear it in my head, mate. Don't you worry about it. God, he completely butchered how I look. Oh, what a beautiful drop into the credits.
I love the credits. I love Kingdom Hearts. God, I love this series so much. I'm not particularly 100% on board with the direction the series is taking, but I enjoy it anyway, so I'm going to play it and have fun with it, regardless of anything.
As long as they continue to be top-tier action RPGs with some crazy story, great music, and likable characters, I'll be as sound as a pound, mate. I understand your concerns. The Lost Masters arc does have a lot of living up to do with the Dark Seekers arc. Whatever words, in whatever order, are meant to be. I don't know, I guess I'm out of steam at this point, but Winnie the Pooh and Ariel know what the score is.
I love seeing these little snapshots. I think all of the credits is still pre-rendered, so these are actually stills taken from the PS2 version, but they're so shrunk down that they kind of look almost HD anyway.
Now, this is still the 20th anniversary year of Kingdom Hearts. We started this back in March. A few pit stops along the way, but we got there in the end. And we actually have a couple of bonus videos coming next for the secret bosses and the final mix bosses, which is going to be pretty cool. But let's talk Kingdom Hearts 1 and or final mix, mate. What's your final thoughts, Tish, on the game?
Again, I love the game so much. Honestly, playing through it for this, and recording the commentary, and playing a little bit of KH2 afterwards, has really renewed my love for this game. I always said, in certain cases, that I would rather play something else over KH1, but man, there's just a charm to this game that has not been replicated yet throughout the rest of the series, and I miss that. I miss that very much, and it's just such a joy to go back to this game and to be able to share it with you and all of the people watching. It's just been such a great experience. If I had to give this game a score right now, I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Very cool. I guess that's going in your media thread then?
I believe it already has, actually.
Well, I get to put it in again. So, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1. Iconic, for lack of a better word. It has a tone, an atmosphere, the rest of the series. Maybe, Chain of Memories aside, doesn't really match. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay that there is a point in the series that is so childlike and whimsical in its execution that you can't repeat it, because you can't go back. You do have to keep moving forward. Whether that was intentional, whether it was just an accident and they wanted to make the series more in line with the themes and aesthetics of other mainline RPGs rather than just keep it as unique as it was in its first iteration. That's also fine. It hasn't got my favourite gameplay in the series, but like Spar said, the story and tone haven't really been matched, and this is easily in my top 5, if not my top 3. I think it's going to be Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Birth by Sleep, and then this.
So you're not including KH3 in your top 3 then?
That would probably be 4.
Alright, that's actually kind of interesting to hear. I'm also very happy to hear that, just because I love KH1 so much. There's just so many little things, like finding the NPCs in Agrabah after you sealed the keyhole, the different paths you can take through the first few worlds and the cutscenes that change because of that. It's just things that aren't present later on that really just adds so much to the full experience of this game.
Oh, interesting. On Rabid Luigi's Kingdom Hearts ranking video, I actually said my top 3 are KH2 Final Mix, KH3, and Birth by Sleeve.
Okay.
Which one is correct? Well, just like Master Xehanort, I will keep it vague for now. You can decide what I'm really talking about.
I feel like it's something that kind of changes depending on what you have recently, like, played through or experienced.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're gonna have that in-the-moment kind of feeling, so...
Yo, Yoko the Queen!
I would say, if we want to talk about music, I think KH1 is probably unmatched in the series. There's just something about it that hits harder, and maybe it's nostalgia for me. There's just something about it that hits harder than anything else I've played in the series.
Maybe.
What is that spelling on Yuffie? What? I've never noticed that.
Yuffie.
That was Y-U-F-E-I-E.
I don't know why they went with Sean Astin, aka Samwise Gamgee, for Hercules. I guess they just wanted the famous name.
I think I mentioned this when we did Agrabah, but I did not know that Iago was actually voiced by Gilbert Gottfried in this game. I thought it was a, sound-alike. Again, very sad that he is no longer with us, and going back to the movies that he did, especially Aladdin, is, that much more saddening now.
Yeah.
With him and fuck, lost the name. I did the thing you did earlier. Genie.
There we go. You got there eventually, and we also lost Pat Carroll, aka Ursula, this year, so I guess that Disney Animal Crossing game is going to be like her last performance.
I saw her name in the scrolling credits and completely slipped my mind that she had recently passed as well.
We lost a lot of people this year.
It's been a rough year. It's been a rough, ever, basically.
Wow, Spar, Jesus. I don't want to end this playthrough on too heavy of a note,
We're getting to that point where all of the big names from, our childhoods, I guess, are starting to go, but there's several new generations of great names coming forward to try to fill that place. Maybe not replace them, but to try to be as good.
Yeah.
So that people have something. So.
And you. And me? No. Talking about Spa.
Not talked about enough, I think, the piece of music that played through that part of the credits, which is... I can't remember the name of it. The March something or another. It's really good, and it sort of gets forgotten compared to, like, Hikari and Simple and Clean and stuff like that.
It's pretty cool. I assume you didn't mean the Imperial March.
Correct, yeah.
Although, Kingdom Hearts 4, leave it with me. Well, not me specifically, the guy in charge of,
I will never understand why Donald and Goofy have changed clothes here. Especially because in Ring Chain of Memories, they again change clothes and draw attention to it, so that they go back to their KH1 outfits.
Maybe they just wanted something classic Disney to end their first game with.
I wonder if maybe they made this scene before finishing, like, the rest of the game, because even then, they didn't know that KH1 was gonna, like, do well enough to get a sequel, so maybe this entire thing was just kind of wishful thinking.
Hey, have you seen King Mickey?
That's a letter of eviction for Disney Castle. They didn't own it, they were just renting it.
I know you know about this, but in the memory of this that appears in KH2, during some parts of this scene, you can see Pluto sliding up the hill because he does not actually have a running animation.
Yes,
which is absolutely fucking hilarious.
It's just like that one bit in 100 Acre Wood, where if you like zoom in on Tigger in the background, he's bouncing in a T-pose. Took that clip, zoomed it in, put it on Twitter. Instant likes.
Yeah, you did.
And so the adventure continues, ever on down the road.
That is not all. We still have the secret movie, which I think is called Another Side, Another Story.
You bet your fucking ass it is.
Which is really great. Such a good one that they added more to in Final Mix. A lot of it, if I remember correctly, is sort of Nomura just kind of doing whatever the hell he wanted because he didn't really have plans to incorporate a lot of this, so it's just kind of random bullshit, really.
Utter silence. Ooh. Yeah, baby.
There was something else. Was it Resident Evil that used a style like this for some of its teasers as well? I can't remember what it was. There was something else. Oh, it was the end of SA2 when you complete some of the stories. I don't know why I thought it was Resident Evil. When you complete one of the stories in SA2 and it tells you to do the other one, the scene that it plays is very reminiscent of this kind of style.
Wishes are eternal.
Which one of these came first? I'm pretty sure SA2 would have come first, right?
Yeah, because Final Mix came later.
Well, I mean, the original KH1 on PS2 also had a special scene like this that just didn't have as much in it.
Now, originally, in the base version of this dude here, which we now know to be Roxas, dual-wielding Oathkeeper and Oblivion here, representing Kairi and Riku, obviously, was only known as the blonde-haired kid, the BHK. And for those of you on, like, KH Insider back in the day, this will sound very familiar to you.
I was not very prevalent on the internet at that time, at least not in the realm of, like, forums that talked about video games. I mainly spent a lot of my time talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Back then, actually, but, yeah, I didn't actually have really anyone to discuss Kingdom Hearts with back then, so I was kind of just waiting for the next game.
There you go. Well, they come down, they pass each other, and the reason Riku doesn't respond here with a counter is because his memory is currently being rewritten because Shion has passed.
Right, yeah, and Namine is trying to work on Sora.
Mister of no importance, we meet again. There was a little clip there of an older Kairi, a prototype older Kairi, which I guess they never got around for using, but I love this fucking series, Jesus Christ.
It's so... You know, it's a bit campy, but oh man.
A bit? Fucking Disney meets Final Fantasy, mate. There's nothing camper out there.
It is the full camper with, you know, the thing from the Goofy movie that Pete had.
Man, if I could just get one sniff, one whiff of a Goofy movie world, even a power line someone would do. That would be fantastic. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix playthrough, guys, bar the 2 bonus videos, which are coming next week. So I just want to thank Spar for recording all of this. You are a saint, mate. You have done a great job with this, and I'm looking forward to whatever else comes down the line for us playthrough-wise.
It's been a great time. Thank you all for watching. It's been so wonderful to do this. Again, thank you.
We'll see you next time for the special vids.